there's only one Morgan & Morgan.
TV Pinpoint Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
Well, good morning, everybody. Going to be another one of those soggy starts to our work week. Awfully wet out there in many areas, real cloudy too. Now, some breaks in the cloud cover will allow those temperatures to climb, and I do think especially in eastern areas, we've got the shot for that to happen. And maybe we find some of those middle and upper 80s for highs today. But like yesterday, with plenty of clouds around and that constant threat for more showers, we'll see the temperatures bounce around in the afternoon and not get as hot as it normally does here in what's going to be the final week of August. So we've almost made it, guys. We take a look at the radar picture. I see a whole bunch of rain, especially off to the south and west. Been watching a couple of showers try to hold together north of Highway 84, but as they get near Camilla and Moultrie and even towards Spence and Pelham, they're really weakening, and they're going to continue to do that. Now, I see a couple other showers near Fort Braden. One little cluster that extends into parts of western Wakulla. It's got a little bit more of a moderate rain to it, maybe back over towards Hosford. It's not a lot, but it's been hanging on since early this morning, and we've had quite a bit of rain move through the Tallahassee area too. Not much into Jefferson County or Madison, and an awful lot in Franklin County and all the way around the Forgotten Coast back out into the Panhandle. This is where the tropical moisture associated with Tropical Storm Marco is being pushed. Even if the core of the storm itself is nowhere near here, this is where the moisture itself is going, and that's why our rain chances have been the way they've been, and that's why I think we're going to find more and more throughout the day today. And there is still the potential of maybe some water spouts or even some rotating individual cells offshore. So we'll have to watch for that. Saw some of those way out in the Gulf last night. Here are the temperatures around our region. Look at all the 76s, 7s, and 8s out there. Blakely, the cool spot like usual, 73. It was nice to see a few upper 60s sprinkled in there back on Friday. That should start happening more and more with some regularity as we get closer to September. But it's not going to happen today and probably not going to happen tomorrow. Our visibility numbers are all better than 7 miles, maybe a little bit of patchy fog out there with all the moisture around, and certainly visibility is going to be reduced in those areas where the showers are coming down. The 5 o'clock information puts the center of Marco, which is kind of hard to find, about 115 miles south-southeast of the mouth of the Mississippi River. The winds around that core, which is getting beat up pretty good by the wind shear, at about 60 miles per hour, and motion is to the northwest at 10, and it should continue that way and should continue to get weaker as it moves towards Louisiana's coast and eventually fizzle out over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, if we just look at it on the satellite imagery, we see all of the convection, the darker colors here, almost looks like they're moving north and east, not north and west, but it's actually way down here that the center is, more maybe 150, 160 miles south of the Alabama-Florida state line. Now, that center looks like over the past day or so has been moving almost due north, but the Hurricane Hunter aircraft says it's moving a little bit more to the northwest, and that should continue. Take a look where all the rain is going. Not necessarily where that center is. The center's way back here, but all the rain is removed to the north and east, and it's a really great reminder that no matter where the cone is, which is telling you what the probability of the center of that storm going through that area, you have to take into account a lot more of the area, especially usually to the east of that center, and that's what we're seeing with Marco. That rain is well removed to the north and east, and that is something the Panhandle is going to deal with throughout the day today. Let's take a look at the other tropical system, Tropical Storm Laura, a much bigger and much more well-defined circulation that continues to interact with Cuba. This guy has been moved across all of those islands, and usually that would beat this thing down. Instead, this very resilient storm is holding together, winds still at 65 miles per hour. Still moving fast, by the way, more than 20 miles per hour. And by the time it gets to the Gulf tomorrow afternoon, I think a lot of that wind shear that did a number on Marco is going to be relaxing, and that will allow this to get stronger. Now, this storm itself has got a much better core, much more structurally sound one, and I think this one's got a much better chance to hold together all the way to land. Every indication is that because of that ridge of higher pressure extending back from the western Atlantic, that will continue to steer this off to the west. I still see a little bit of activity out over parts of Texas that might want to bump it around a little bit, so we'll see how the path changes over the next several days. But every indication is that path is going to be nowhere near our area. So we'll certainly watch and see, and it'll be something to see how it develops over the next couple of days. But I don't think it's anything for our area to be concerned with. We're still dealing with the tropics today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. As we get to Thursday and beyond, now we start to bring back our more typical summer weather. And that does mean higher daytime highs, lots of humidity, maybe a few pop-up afternoon scattered showers, and of course, that's going to give us those heat index values up over 100 again. So we've had a little break from the heat with all the extra showers. I think that break is going to come to an end later this week.
All right, well, thanks, Rob.